Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another review. This one is brought to you by Square Enix, who sent me out to bring out Fong Wong, uh, and I'm excited because I didn't get to finish Xenogears as a kid, so they were especially dope in hooking it up and letting me relive some childhood memories. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you to Square Enix and Square Enix Associates. I appreciate you. Pete, you know who you are. I appreciate you. Anyway, let's jump into this review. Now, like I said before, I did not get a chance to finish Xenogears as a kid. I was unfortunate that my PlayStation disc was scratched, and I did not have enough money to buy another copy of the game, and then it went out of print. So for many years, I did not get to finish Xenogears. But as an adult, I did, and let me tell you, I love Xenogears. Can't say the same for Xenosaga, but I do love Xenogears. um, but yeah, anyway, here is Fei Fong Wong, one of our protagonists from the series. Actually, the first one you get to maintain and play with, who is, I don't want to do any spoilers for those who still haven't played after 20 years. But yeah, it's really dope to see this character brought to life. It's really dope that they actually pretty much nailed the proportions here. And I think that's the one good thing that Bring Arts really has going. They stay true to their designs, especially because they're the ones making it. So they know how it goes with their proportions, which I thought was really dope. One of the things that worried me was the articulation. How would it be? Would it be good enough? And I think it hits most of the points. There's some where it really does fall short, and it's a shame. But considering he's the first of the Bring Arts for Xenogears, I'm hoping going forward there will be some changes. So let's jump into that. Anyway, let's start with the head articulation. Now, what's really dope about this is obviously you can't move this, but it is soft enough so that way if you want it to be malleable, you can. You can heat it up. The ponytail on the back has a ball joint, and as you can see, I can kind of make that flow whichever way I want in any seeming direction, which is probably one of my favorite things about Fei Fong Wong. The head joints is one of the things I want to talk about because the way their necks are done, they don't have the extended range of articulation due to the neck peg actually being within the head. So what happens with that is that you get a seamless neck head joint, which is excellent, but you do fall short in terms of some creative ways of giving you expression on the neck. As you can see, going here towards his right, my left, it's not happening. Meanwhile, we have it all during the left-hand side. So I think that's one part where it does fall short, and it sucks, but I made it happen by heating it up. It could have just been me heating up my joints, but on, bringing it back while doing this review, falls a little short. Face sculpt is actually spot on, especially for the look of Fei Fong Wong. I think they nailed his look pretty much. Now, starting with the arms, there's a pull-out joint. Actually, you see, let me fix that. There's a pull-out joint. As you can see here, I've brung that down. It actually lets you extend the arms and rotate. So as you can see here, it's on a single joint, but it does rotate all the way back, which is pretty dope. I was worried about that, especially for a martial arts character. And there's still a bicep swivel, which is excellent because they didn't forget about the fact of, even though it's seamless and you don't want to worry about breaking it, even if you won't get it here at the shirt, you'll get the bicep swivel here, which is really, really dope and will allow you to basically have all the articulation you needed. So that was a really dope idea on their end. As far as the ab crunch goes, it goes forward and it's only blocked by his guard here that is tucked under his sash. But it does get pretty far forward, and that's where it falls short a little, and I'm going to get to that in a second. But that could be me. I'm a little ham-handed sometimes. Going backwards, you actually get a great range, which is pretty dope. You can rotate left and right. And again, if I apply the pressure, you still get a maximum really good range, but not as much as you would like for a martial arts character, especially the moves that Fei does. Now, the one part I think where this figure falls short, and this is me because I am going to push my figures to the limit like I always do, is that even though he can do really cool moves like this, where literally I'm going to be balancing him to do this kick, he's just looking up at himself all smug as shit. Excuse my language. So even though the figure can do this, and I mean it literally can do this. Let me see if I can get it to balance though. So he can do this. But as far as the leg articulation, because of the way the ball joint is and the soft plastic, what allows you to do this great articulation, which is dope as hell, because I'm always happy to be able to do moves like this, especially because folding it back, you actually get an excellent range and it folds up. The only problem here is that because of the joint in the middle, sometimes when you want to extend it really far forward, the plastic will get in the way. That is a small and minor gripe, and the only thing pretty much holding this figure back from being perfect representation of Fong Wong from Xenogears. It's pretty much the real thing that I think that's holding it back from being perfect. Because as you can see here, I can extend it back really easy and do kicks. I think that pretty much everything else is nailed on this figure. Like even the foot joint right here, right? Which has a rotating joint here that you can rotate left and right. You can go back, you can go front, and you can still rotate it left and right. So that means you're still getting a great range. It's just that it pops out very easily. But again, you are still getting a great range for Faye. So this is something that was not overlooked. It was something that was not missed on this figure. And I think that's really, really good. This sash actually can rotate left and right as well too. So let's not forget about that. So you don't have to worry about it, doing anything. So let's pull this down a little bit, even it out. So again, range is here, look is here. I am loving this figure because of that. You might have some minor gripes with the arms, but again, you can work around that, especially considering the space they left for the joint. And leg-wise, I think they've pretty much nailed it in terms of looks. So you have a figure that looks accurate, and the only thing really holding it back being that its leg joint with the foldable posing may be a small issue. But anyway, let's get into what he comes with, which is not a lot, but he does come with some things that you'll find if you played the game really good. So I do like the fact that the hands are on pegs like this. So if I want to put them away or not put it back in his box and in a baggie, I can do this. Just put them in there. So you have a martial arts hand, 2 of them, both left and right. For being open palm strikes, you have 2 relaxed hands. Or again, you can call them Tai Chi hands depending on what you want to do, which is really great. They plug in very easily as well, because as you can see when you take it off, these joints are actually pretty strong. Don't have to worry about them falling and breaking. Something I worried about on my Sora and on my Riku, but not on him. Then you have another set of hands, which has 3 parts. So here you're going to get 2, I dropped it. Here you're going to get 2 more martial arts hands, open action palms, and 1 trigger hand. So that way, if you do want to put a weapon in his hand, it will be in the right hand. This is a trigger hand, so you can actually put weapons in there. So that's actually pretty cool. Next up, you do get 1 alternative head. It's a shouting head. I don't think that this head is as good as the original head that you get here, but it is good. I think that the mouth actually needs a little bit more work on it, but overall still pretty good. You also still get the same joint that you do on this head, so you don't have to worry about not getting the same love, because it does. And you get 1 accessory, which is hilarious. You get the Soylent System can accessory. So this is pretty cool. If you played the game, you know what this is, so that's what makes it funny. Last but not least, he does come with a stand, which this is new to me, that this kind of... Oh, that sucks that the stand broke. Aw. So my stand broke. And that's probably my fault, but it looked like it had some stretch damage. I don't know from what, though. But this one breaks up into 3 parts, like in SHF Stage 4. But, again, I can probably glue this and fix it. No big deal. It just sucks that it broke on camera. And then you get 2 more of these, which are easily one of my favorite things. You can get the claws. So again, I'm going to just glue this with some Gorilla Glue. It's not a big deal. But it looked like it was stressed beforehand. Now let's get into some size comparisons so we can talk about the size of Fong Wong. I'm just going to call him Faye. I got a homie named Faye. She's cool. So let's stand him up straight, make him look good for the camera. First things first, we're going to compare him to another martial artist. This is the Articulated Icons martial artist. Stands at a pretty good height. If I can get him to stand up straight, there we go. He's a bit taller than Fong Wong, but they still look really good together. Next up, we have a 1000 toy synthetic human, who also stands a bit taller than him, considering he's supposed to be about 18, and in his timeline, he's a pretty short guy. I think this actually works out in terms of height. Next up, we're going to compare it to Figma Rula. She's tiny as well, so this works out size-wise. Next up, Mythic Legion Blood Orc. He's gigantic compared to Faye. Next up, we're going to do an SHF. So here's Decade. Next up, a Marvel Legend, which is Blade. So as you can see, he's probably going to be the smaller. He fits in well with the other Japanese stuff from Marvel Legends. Next up, we have a Mezco. I'm going to use my Kit Bash cable with my old boy head. And as you can see, size-wise, even though he's standing right next to them, he looks bigger and blockier compared to them, obviously. So yeah, it's a good look. All in all, I'm really enjoying the figure. I did not know what to expect of it because I originally did not get it. So coming into this, I was hoping it would be great, and I actually got something that was actually really good. So now I have to go out and pick up the mech to match it. So all in all, I like it. But again, if you're not a fan, you can pass on it. You can use it for a martial artist if you want. Or you can just use them because you like Xenogears. If not, it's totally fine. In the meantime, guys, hope you enjoyed. Hope you found it informative. And most of all, hope you do good, be good, and drink your water. Later.